I talk about this in my book, Why Women Deserve. And I'll kind of go a little bit deeper than she did with feminism. So look, feminism came in, exploded in the 1960s, told women, hey, birth control, you can have a job, you can make as much money as a man or whatever. But feminism, what it effectively did was it destroyed the nuclear family. Because when women make their own money, they become more selective. When they become more selective, majority of men don't qualify for them. So they feel that they could do better. And now what we're experiencing in 2025 is kind of what people call third wave feminism. But reality is that we've gotten to a point now where the women behave more like men and the men behave more like women. Gender roles are pretty much blurred. We don't know what the fuck is going on. We got 99 genders, etc. Thank God for Trump, saying, hey, we're going back to 2 genders, etc. But we've gone so far left now that we don't even know what's right anymore. And feminism, I would argue, is if you look at societal decay, all the problems, it stems from feminism. Whether it's the destruction of the nuclear family, inflation, overrepresentation in the workforce, etc. When you double the workforce, employers can pay you half the wages. And that's effectively what feminism did, because women now went into all these different industries. But I find interesting when in certain industries, like engineering, for example, or jobs that are male-dominated, they still pay high because women don't want to do these jobs.
But what do you really think it's going to take to end that division, though?
In what? In
between men and women.
When it comes to intersexual dynamics?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the men need to step up and realize that there's a masculine burden performance, right? Guys got to step up, because I do... if feminism didn't just hurt women, it hurt men too, because the men realize, like, oh, well, let's just go 50-50. Let's just go ahead and let women run shit, right? So, the men are just as stupid to believe in the feminism lie. But yeah, I think men need to become men, and then hopefully by them being leaders and becoming men, women will feminize. But then also we need to teach women, like, value, as in, like, hey, look, your value isn't by your career, your title, it's by having a family and children, right? Now, a lot of women might have a point of contention with that, like, oh, what am I, like, just some, stupid bimbo or whatever? Like, I'm more than that. But I truly do think, because we've had women on the show. Actually, no, hold on, you have a child, right?
Yeah, and I was married.
Let me ask you this. What's more satisfying for you, getting your college degree or having your child?
My daughter.
And I don't think a lot of women get to experience that because they've been sold this lie to chase a career, make money. But I guarantee you'd give up your degree, your career, everything for your kid.
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
But it's not until women have children until they realize this. And feminism has kind of lied to you guys and said, chase a career, get money, etc. But what they don't tell you is when you make that money and you become successful, etc., finding a husband is significantly harder.
And that's what we talked about last time.
Yeah. And for you, right? Like, you're 31 years old, you're a high earner. It's going to be very difficult to find a guy. Because the men that you want are going to be high earners that are older, but they're okay with dating someone who's 19 or 20.
So here's a question. Would you give up all of your businesses and everything you've built if you met a guy tomorrow who would make you a mom?
No, she won't.
Good question.
I mean, that's a fair question,
That's
right?
a very good
I mean, you
question.
meet a guy who's a good guy, he's
That's
a
good
nice
question.
guy, comes to you, he's like, hey, I'll financially take care of us, whatever. And I'm just going to go ahead and, like, I'm committing to you, I'm in. But you can't be everything, so you got to give up everything you've built so far, and trust me, would you do it? So tough, huh?
He would have to be, like, really well off, because I would have to really feel safe and secure to walk away from what I have.
Well, how much would that number need to be for you?
Like, at least a multimillionaire.
Okay.
At least. I need stability.
Okay, so
Wait, you don't think a woman should, like, make some money, like, at the same time? Because,
No,
they
just said that. They don't give a fuck what she does. As long as she
No,
stays
but, like, if something happens and then you guys split up or whatever.
So you see, that's the reason why, like, feminism became really popular. It's because men abandoned women.
Yes.
And women felt the need to survive, right? Like, you have this thing where you're like, hey, I have to survive, so I have to provide because I'm tired of these guys coming and leaving.
The other thing, too, is that, like, a lot of girls had that fear, like what you're saying, like, oh my God, I need to have a backup in case he leaves me, right? Statistically speaking, men don't really leave women like that. Women initiate like 80% of the divorces.
Yep.
So a lot of times, like, if you're just not annoying, like, the guy ain't going nowhere, bro. He really isn't.
Or nagging.
Yeah, or
Rogan
nagging,
just spoke
right?
on this.
But I get it. Like, you're saying, look, dude, it's 2025. Shit is expensive. One income doesn't do it. I get it. Which I tell girls, hey, work a job. You want to go to school, fine. But understand that, like, that's not priority number one.
Yep.
Like, if you find a guy that makes a good amount of money and you're like, okay, this might be the one, like, you need to be willing to give up your career. But a lot of women are not willing to do that.
But I think it's deeper than that, though, because I feel like
March.
to me personally, giving a man your womb is like such a precious gift. It's the same way that men look at giving a woman their last name.
That's why you're supposed to be married.
So I personally, I would need a multimillionaire for stability.
To feel safe.
To feel safe, to be
Understandable.
able to give you that. And that's why I'm not a mom yet.
Now, here's the thing, though. You're 31 now.
Right.
A majority of your eggs are gone. No offense. Not trying to be an asshole or anything like that. Like, you know, as you age, right, it's going to be harder and harder to have children. So, like, how long do you want to wait? Because assuming you met a guy tomorrow, you still would have married him for at least until you're 33, 34 and have kids. So, like, at that point, you're getting right next to a dangerous pregnancy.
Right.
So, then what do you drive?
I actually don't drive. Actually.
Okay, where do you live?
In Wynwood.
Okay, how much is your rent? Or your mortgage, whichever.
Between here and LA, it's like $6,000.
$6,000. Okay. What are your expenses? Your heavy outside of your business. What's your heaviest spend for
It's
the
really
month?
just my rent and more so like my upkeep. And I don't even do
so
much.
why do you need a multimillionaire for that bullshit payment?
Because to give him a kid.
Huh?
To give him a kid.
Sure. Like, why do you need to? Okay.
We need to afford a nanny. We need to afford the top childcare. We need to afford activities.
A nanny, you home.
We need to start being able to put up a college fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like,
Can I say that? Can I say something as a mom?
Yeah.
that doesn't make any
That
She wasn't
none of
married.
that
That's
matters.
to you, but that's what I want.
Fuck you doing at home?
I
She wants to
understand
put her
that.
kid in private schools. Like, guys, it's her standards. It's
No,
fine.
wait, no, that
But-
understands. Like you can have all the dreams that you want for your child perfectly.
Right.
That's no issue. Like, do you with your dreams.
Right.
But what? Okay, never mind.
No,
No,
but
but it's an
yeah.
unreasonable
Yeah.
expectation
Yes.
of how life works. Like, I have that, right? Like, my daughter goes to the best school. She has 2 nannies, all that shit, right? My wife has all the support she needs all the time. She needs an extra nanny. I'll get her an extra nanny, too. No problem.
3 of them.
Right.
Whatever. Like, it doesn't mean they are multilingual. They teach her everything, whatever. But these are like luxuries, right? They're not like
Right.
necessities.
Right.
Right. But it's
So-
a luxury that I won't compromise
Right, but by the
on.
time you meet that medium,
Right.
that opportunity won't be there anymore.
Yeah,
But
So that's
but
the
I
angle.
think too at this rate though, I have to be okay with the possibility I won't be a mom.
No.
Okay. All
Ever,
right,
yeah.
all right.
So
It
you're,
doesn't matter if I
you're willing to
decide.
take that gamble.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
But look, I'll tell you something about the human condition that
Mhm.
might help you understand what makes you attractive or not to the opposite sex.
Right.
Like, everybody here is single, all the people at this table.
Mhm.
And deep inside, everybody at this table would absolutely have a guy if they were the right guy.
That's 100% true.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
So what it comes that what the right guy is what we discovered today is not what you think is the right guy,
Right.
because it's impossible to find that 1.001%.
Very
Fuck,
rare.
I didn't even meet the qualification because I'm not 6 fucking feet tall. like, I meet everything
Bro,
else, but
it's really, ladies, real quick. How many of you didn't think that it would be that rare to find just a guy 70K 5'11"? Like, did you? Okay.
Hers made more sense being lower, but I guess mine was
Even
maybe
yours
a
was
little...
like
personally,
shocking, right?
hers was shocking.
Because you guys thought
Yeah.
that'd be
Hers,
like
no.
30% of men, right? Like, I can find
Yeah.
that 70K 5'11".
Yeah.
Wait, I have a
but
question.
hold on. What I was saying for a second, you can ask your question in a second. Every human is based on 2 energies, masculine and feminine.
Yeah.
When you go into survival, that's the masculine energy you tap into. Okay, so when the masculine energy goes up, it becomes less attractive to straight men. Makes sense? Because we're like basically looking at a mirror instead of looking at someone that's feminine.
It's like if you met a guy and he twisted his wrist like that, you'd be like, ew.
Yeah.
You know what I
it'd
mean?
be
Same
weird,
shit.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
So your role as a human is to understand your biology and then take that biology and enhance it instead of counter it.
Right.
So even if you increase your masculine, if you increase your feminine even more. So what happens with women is they don't understand that. So they go into their masculine to survive, and they turn off all the other men, basically, from wanting to do anything.
And
with
don't
them.
even know it.
Yeah. And so, and then because they keep staying single, they're never practicing their feminine energy again and again and again. So they end up staying that way.
So do you think that if a woman is choosing to be single or she's single, she's not operating her feminine energy?
No, because you're biologically engineered to have babies. I don't know about marriage. I'm not.
Right.
That's a societal thing. That's not a like a human thing. But you're engineered to have babies, right?
Right.
Like that's a function of your body.
That's true.
We have penises. They're supposed to work to give you babies.
Right.
Like that's the way it's
Yeah.
supposed to work.
Right.
So that's a biology. That's your nature, right? And what I'm
Right.
saying is, if you're avoiding your nature, is because society has shifted that for you somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have enough self-awareness to correct it, then you're the byproduct of what society wanted you to become, not what you should be. So you have to adjust that all the time.
So is being a mom directly linked to a woman being her top femininity to you?
Yes, it's a big part of it.
So if she can't find a person that's a good enough father, then what should she do? Should she just be a single
No,
mother?
no, no. Listen, I'm not saying that. Like, we're in a very complex society, right? And there's a lot of aspects of society, like social media, that have changed things. I always say I'm really lucky because I'm 40.
Right.
I've seen the context of no social and social.
Right.
I feel bad for fucking her because she's born into social.
Right.
Get it? Like, so her context is like fucking this illusion of like how she
What
works.
age was you when you had your first child, and your wife age?
Like, my daughter's 2 years old, so I was 40 years old.
And your wife was how
My
old?
wife was 27, 26.
Okay.
She's like 30 now.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, she has a career, which
Right.
she literally almost fully gave up. You know, she takes projects from home.
Mhm.
Like, she was lucky enough to be very talented at what she did.
Right.
So there's a cost of what she can earn
Of
for
course.
that. But generally, if you asked her, like, she would give up everything to stay a mom.
Right.
Now that she's been a mom, right?
Right.
Like, even though at the beginning, she was always scared to have kids with everyone else she ever met.
Right.
Right? So it's all about finding the right mate.
You gotta do that, and you gotta.
Right, but you also have, just like everything else in life, you have to put the effort towards being the right person.
Facts.
That's
Oh, you heard that,
100%
Dominican
true.
Republic?
Like
heard that,
otherwise,
Dion?
it just
You gotta make the effort to be the right
100%
girl.
it just doesn't work if you don't do that. And what
And
I'm
I
saying
think-
is,
I do think that you're right, because a lot of people do lack self-awareness, and a lot of women and people like lack accountability. So I agree with you, but if the desire to have a child is there, what do you suggest that a woman do? Does she continue to wait, or does she just go out and pick a man that's like ready, and he might not be?
I mean,
a good
I don't
father?
know
What's
that
more
you want. I
important?
don't know that it. Okay, so it's not like so black and white that you just go
Right.
and fuck a guy and just get pregnant. You're like,
Right.
okay, I have a
That's
child,
crazy.
whatever. I don't want to
Right.
see the guy, whatever. I'm just saying that there's a portion of who you're supposed to be
That is true.
that you're denying yourself, and that's difficult. I know, because there's very few men that would meet your standard.
Mhm.
But it doesn't change the fact that you're also not attractive to a large portion of the population.
Mhm.
So your unwillingness to let go of your job or your business, your unwillingness, even if you met the right person, is
Possibly, but that's just one of my qualifications.
right. But what I'm
Like,
saying,
I'm
well, right?
comfortable.
But that's a recipe for staying single.
Right.
You had a question, right? Indianapolis?
It
Go
was
ahead.
stupid.
No stupid
No,
question.
no,
Ask
no.
it. Just ask it.
No, it's like not relevant, but it's
Go ahead.
about the meter.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it? Is it?
Wait, which meter? Oh, the count?
audio meter.
Wait, which meter?
The delusion.
Oh.
The delusion meter.
Oh, okay, the delusion calculator.
It has been broken twice. Yeah. Is it dudes in America or just like dudes ever?
It's in America.
Okay.
Because it goes off the U.S. Census Bureau, the CDC, and National Health Survey.
Are you okay?
It
Yes,
pulls-
I was just wondering.
It pulls from 3 main data sets, but it's all America.
Hey, one thing too, I would argue that most women also don't understand money actually. So they
Yeah,
think
yeah.
they really need something, you know, to this degree, and they don't really understand the math behind it.
Yeah.
And that's a big reason why a lot of women want a multimillionaire, but they don't realize what can be done on X, Y, and Z budgets, or how things work, or how much things cost. And so they, in their head, they have this idea that I need all of this shit to get to there, but you can get a lot with a lot
I can't
less.
tell you how many guys they'll make like $250K per year, but you'll think they're a multimillionaire
Yeah,
by the way
exactly.
they
100%. Yeah.
the car they drive, certain watches,
100%.
they're
Like
able
how
to
you
convey a
spend
certain-
your money versus
they're able
what
to
you spend
convey
it on.
Exactly, they're able
Okay.
to convey themselves as a higher status than they really are. Versus other guys that have the money but they don't show it at all, and girls can't tell the difference.